let me adjust my camera here. I always have to adjust it because I'm on my phone, and I have to adjust it after I come online. So, good morning. Welcome to my desk. Welcome to my desk. Today is Tuesday, July the 25th, and we are going to talk about imagination today. The power that we have to imagine. Most of us. Now, all of us, really. And I was thinking about the word imagine and imagination. Hi, Arlene. Good morning, Arlene. And, you know, we all have an imagination. For some of us, it's harder to, because we haven't utilized our imagination. We haven't been practicing it. So it's harder for us to grab that concept and pull from our imagination and create. But we are also going to talk about unimagination or unimaginative work, because I'm convinced if you're having issues using your imagination and you just want to give up, do something unimaginative. And so we're going to talk about things today that we can do that are both creative and imaginative, and other things that, but when you do the, you kind of go, that process of doing and creating, just working through something that's not so exciting, can influence you and inspire you to do something that's really fun. It may not be the first ever done in the world, but it inspires you. It sparks that little, ooh, this is cool in your work. And it sparks your imagination. You say, man, if I can do this, how would it look like this? And pretty soon, you're off and running. So good morning, everybody. Let me get my YouTube tablet adjusted so that I can welcome folks in. Let's see. Imagination. The power of our imagination can really, you think of all the great things that have been done, all the great art. Now, there's a certain amount of work and skill in it, too, but it had to come from somebody thinking it up in the power of your mind, and then developing it. And as you develop it, and this gets into the unimagination, too, when I'm calling unimaginative, as you work with something that's not, very creative, just the process of doing, you run into and you go, wow, I wonder. And then that sparks your imagination. I'm still working on my birdies. I did bring in, somewhere over here, I did bring in a smaller needle as I was working on my birdies the other day. Susan Gerald was in here and she said, I'd sure like to see Meri use a smaller needle. So I did hunt up a smaller needle and I did bring it in. I did not get Karen's wings done over the weekend. Well, over Monday. I went out and watered my plants. I've got to get out in the garden and weed my zinnias. See, where am I going to put these? Over here for now? Will they fly away? Now, let me find a safe place for the birds. All right. Look what I have here. I showed these before. And then I found a bottle of buttons. Obviously, these were like purchased at Tuesday morning or something, but there's some big buttons in there. And, they're still, these buttons are just as good as these that I got at the thrift store. Let me adjust my camera here. My tablet. Oh, I don't want to connect to a device. I want to set the quality. Auto. I don't want auto. Auto is 480. Hold on. It has to think. Well, I'm not having much luck over at the tablet here this morning. Hold on. Hold the phone. Oh, now it set it for 240. And let's see. Advanced. Oh, it says I can go up to 1080. That amazes me that I can go to 1080 on my tablet. That amazes me, and I can't do it on my phone. Oh, I'm sorry, Becky. Are you having health issues? I tell you, my heart goes out to you folks who suffer through the health issues. You know, yeah, my heart goes out to you because it's no fun when you don't feel good, is it? Hi, Nashwa. Good morning. And good morning, Becky. Becky says, I'm using a lot of imagination in this year's dresses by mixing fabrics in each dress. Becky does the cutest. I'll tell you, Becky's skill just amazes me. Especially her sewing skills. She's got skills in all areas, and there's a fly swishing around here. Becky has skills in all areas, but her sewing skills just, I admire them so much, and she is doing the cutest little, every year for the past few years, she has been doing Project Dress-A-Girl, and she comes up with some of the sweetest dresses. I just admire that, Becky. She says, I usually end up in the recliner for some of the night. Yeah. Just take care of yourself, Becky. Our heart goes out to you. Let's see. Who else is in here? Arlene and Nashwa. Good morning, Nashwa. And Becky. And let me refresh my chat because I only see a few people in here. Live chat. Well, that's all I see, but if you're up in the balcony, I see 11 people in here, so some of you are up in the balcony, either up doing things or still in bed and just listening in, or you're just not up to chat. That's perfectly fine to be up in the balcony. And I welcome you in wherever you are. This is the beginning of a new week. So I just wish you a good week. Look at all these buttons. This is why I got these out. Let me show you. Let me move these over. I have here, while I was cleaning and sorting, Becky says, put everything in one place. Here's the place for my buttons. I got this tin at a garage sale. Oh, what else did I throw in here? I threw some other stuff in here, obviously. That is a pin, supposed to be a pin. These are supposed to all be buttons. What did I throw in here? Well, this is a button. These are charms. I'm going to take the charms out. That's a fox. I think I'll send that fox to Mina. Well, I'm going to call that a button. It's really a broken jewelry. I don't know how this other stuff got in here. Probably when I was cleaning, I probably dumped some stuff in there. And this is one of those, this is M-I-N-O-M-A-P-S. M-I-N-D, mind maps. And then I had put these on a foam base, and I think I don't know if I glued them down or what, but the foam got all over the back of these and got all sticky. I don't know how I put broken jewelry. I must have dumped one of my, I want only buttons in here. It looks like Those are beads. It looks like I dumped a bunch of other stuff in here while I was, here's some. I don't want all this. I only want, what I got taped in here? I must have dumped a unimaginative sorting. What's this? Oh, what did I do? This is more broken jewelry. I'm going to dump all those buttons in here, but I want to get all the extraneous stuff out. I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to, these were really in my broken jewelry. I'm going to leave those things in. Let's pull this other stuff out. Oh, there's a set of owls. I made a tassel for Mina with an owl on it. I'm going to send it to her. Let's get all this other stuff out. My little ladybugs. I think Riri sent me these little ladybugs. And there's a cat. All right, there might be some broken jewelry in here. We'll have to go through. I did some unimaginative. There's another owl. We were doing owls not so long ago. And I saw owls at the store and I bought them. All right. The reason I'm clearing this out is because I want to fill it with buttons. I don't want all this other stuff in here. I'm pulling it out. I'll put it in that bag. All right. For the most part, oh, look, it says tomorrow. Tomorrow, tomorrow. The sun will come out tomorrow. Yeah, see, I threw some broken jewelry in here. And I was looking for all my broken jewelry. This is really cool. I didn't even realize I had that. There's 3 of them there. I don't know what I did, but I sure did it. Some glitter. All right. I think for the most part, I guess maybe that owl should come out too. Some little pom-poms. An earring. Oh, I'm getting a pile of stuff here. A paper. I think that was making a little dress there. All right. I'm going to call it done. Well, look at this. A knob. I'm going to call it done. There might be some beads and other stuff mixed up in here. Maybe I'll take that butterfly out. And we're going to dump these buttons in here because I mostly just want buttons. I want this to be a button box. And maybe I'll put charms in here. We'll see. It's empty now. I'm going to put it down here for now. And I want to dump all these buttons that I got at the thrift store. So when I want buttons, I'll just come to this box. Whee! And I have more buttons here. Yeah. But I'll have to get to them. I'm going to throw the bags away. There's no need to ruminate over the price. $3 a bag I don't think was too bad. There might be a earring in there. And I'm just going to, let's just cut it, Meri. Cut it. Okay. Ooh. Grandma's button box. I'm going to leave that in. I'm going to call that a button. It's really for a necklace, I believe. One more. There's a fly visiting my stream this morning. So we're going to talk about imagination. Imagination. When a few more people get in here, I'm going to do a list of things that we think are unimaginative. And it doesn't have to be a huge, big list, but I want to see what you guys come up with of what is unimaginative. So be thinking about it. Let me grab the lid. And there's my button box. And I'm going to have to find a space for it, but right now it's going to go down here on the floor. And I'm going to turn, I did get a little table fan. And boy, it puts out a nice stream of air on my, while I'm working here. All right, we're going to put all of this stuff, with the exception of maybe the tape, which I should just use. We're going to put, for now, I'll have to go through and sort. This is broken jewelry. And I think I'll keep these out, though. When I was doing my little wax seals, I think it was Mitzi said, put some seals in some bottle caps, Meri. Use those bottle caps. And I think these are smashed ones. But that's good. And there's a tray, a heart tray. I don't know if I'll put wax in that, but I'm going to keep that out. And let's just put all this other, for now, let's just load it all up into here. And I'll go through it later. Beads and glitter, and because I want to get it off my desk so I can do other stuff. Oh, here's my needle I brought in for slow stitching. Per Susan Gerald said, I'd love to see Meri use a smaller needle. So that's what we're going to try. Fox, I think I'm going to keep out. Owl. Snowflake charm, Brad. Those are stagecoaches. I'm even going to put the eraser in there. Anything that was in there is going in this bag, and I'll have to sort through it. I don't want to spend the time now sorting. Because I got jewelry and broken jewelry, and I'm going to keep my ladybugs out too. And I think this is glitter. Rusty Sparkle from PHA Pharmacy. Pharmacy Broger, is that D-R-O-G-U-E-R-I-E? Brogerie? Distressed Glitter. Ooh, this is interesting. We're not going to glitter this morning, though. And that's just a little baggie. Oh, I think I'm down to the bottom. We'll put that baggie in there, too. Imagination. The power of the imagination. All right, this will go back out in the sort room. Alrighty, I'm back down to the bottom. We were working on okra pods, and I had to quit, but I think it was Leah. I was having trouble with the eyes on my, the gnome. Let's see, we did the ghost, and we put a tie on the cat, and I'm getting ready to do the gnome, but I wanted to draw him first, and that's what I came up with. And I was having trouble with the eyes because I was putting big round eyes there. So I think I'm ready to draw and paint him on here. And I was thinking, on here I can't show the hands on the front view, but on here, because it's dimensional, I can put hands on the side. So we're going to work on that. And then the next one we're going to do was suggested was a cowboy. So I'm going to, this was a project progress game, and this was packet 10. And I sure would like to get packet 10 emptied so I can put something else in it, and we can call these done. So we're going to work on that today. And I got this at the thrift store, and I thought it would be fun to take a snippet of this. Now what's interesting on this is it is serged around the corner here, but if you clip it off, that top one will not be serged. So I'm either going to have to fold it under, but I want to count, and let's get a pen out. Let's count how many squares across, and I could just do that with a thread, but I want to know how many. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll bet there's about 22 or 25. I'm not quite to the middle. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Let me write that down. Well, my pen was here, and then 22. So 22 across. And then the length can be as many as I want it. But I was thinking I would embroidery a scissors. So if I have 22 across, if I do 6 this way and 6 this way, that's 12. So I only have 10 left. And if I do 3 on each side, that's 6. So I have 4 left, and I can do 4 in here. So I'm thinking 6, 4, 6. That's 16. What did I do here? 10, 16. Well, that leaves me, 6 left. So 3 here and 3 there. So that's 9, 13, 19, 21, 22. And I can make this as long as I need it. So I usually go 6. Now I'm not going to do 6. I'm going to do 5 and 1 here. Well, 4, because I want to do 1 down there. So it is 6 in here. And the same thing here. This would be 4 and 1, which would make 6. So 3, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 6 and 3 again. So that should add up again. So that's 12, 16, and 6 is 22. All right. Then lengthwise, I want to do a handle this way, and it'll come down. I'm just going to do a simple scissors, so it'll be 4, and that would equal to 6, and just do another little, I'm kind of designing those simple little scissors as I go, so that would be 6. So in here, since I have 4, I think I'll make these 10 vertically. So what I have, let's pull this out. What I have here is a little cross stitch is what I'm going to do on this band. Like this. Like that. And then there'll be 4 spaces in here. Like that. Like that. Now, there'll be 10 going down this way, I believe. Now I want to come down, and I think I'm going to work off of this last one here. 1, 2, and 1, 2. Now there's 4 here, so there would be 4 in there. That would be 6 in here. There would be 4 here, right? Yeah, right. So there would be 4. And if I come down 1 more and 1 more, there would be 2 left in there, and there would be 2 here. So, and then I'm going to carry the 2 down there. So on my little shank coming down, I will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows down. So there's 10 there, and from here to here, actually there's 10 in to here. It's actually 12 in here because I'm adding these 2. So there's 12 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So 5 there. Now I want since I have 2 there, I think I'm just going to do a simple square. I could do a diamond. But I think I'm just going to do a little square. I'm going to do 4 here, and 2 there, and 1 here, 2 there, and 2 there. Just do a little square for practice. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more here, and then I can make these as long as I want. So we have 12, and 9 is 21. 21. So 21 up here. I want at least 21 here, but maybe even a little longer. Let's make it, there's 2 there. And there's 2 in here. Little cross stitches in there. Let's see, how long? 21 and 21 would be 42. I think I went a little taller though. Let's make it 31 in here. 31 from here to here, down to there, and there would be 2 in here. Whoops, 2. Well, I'm going to scribble that out. 2 there. So 2 from 31 is 29 there. So I'll go down 31 here and 29 there. So this is 31 and 21 is 52. So if I cut my, and I'm hoping this will work, if I cut my banding here, which has a piece of tape on it, Becky says, I wish they wouldn't put tape on this fabric, her nice fabric. Let's go in and welcome folks in. Live chat. Let me refresh my chat here. And welcome everybody in. It's good to see you guys. Morning math with Meri. Usually my mind doesn't working as efficiently as it did there. Usually Becky has to come in and, Meri, it's really this. Becky's my math monitor, which I appreciate because she saved me a lot from disasters. I am. Hi, Pam. I'm designing a little scissors pattern that I'm going to stitch on here. And you would be surprised how fast this goes. You would be surprised. Now, one thing I do, and where's my needle? One thing I do, and I'm just going to snip off a long piece because I have plenty here, and I've got another row of green. Let's see. We know, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's about 10 to there. So 10, 20, I'm just going to estimate 30, 40, 50. See, 10 is just about the width of my finger, just about. I'm just estimating how much I want to cut off. So if I leave 10 on the bottom and go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and then I'm going to leave a good amount up here because I want to fold this under. So we're just going to leave a good amount. This should be way enough. And I could put Fabri-Tac on that, but I think I'll just roll it under like that. So one thing I do, I'm not going to cross stitch the whole thing this morning. I am just getting it set up. Let's put a pin in here. I'm just getting it set up, but I wanted to show you one thing I do, and I have plenty of thread on this needle. I don't know what I was using it for, but I want to, can I see it? Yeah, I can kind of see it. I want to leave 10 at the bottom of the scissors and 10 at the top. So let's just go in. It doesn't matter where. And so we're going to count, I guess I could count this one. And you guys aren't going to see this too well. So I got one, I can't see it too well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right in there. So I know there's my 10 at the bottom. And then I just go over one. So 52 and 10 and 10 would be 72 is about how many I need. So I got 10 there. So I'm just kind of gridding off how tall my scissors so that when I start stitching it, and I might start stitching it down here at the shank. I'm not going to stitch this morning on this. So we're going to do, probably be better if you could see it in black, but I just want to do 10 more here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to call that 7. It's got kind of 8, 9, 10. 10 there. And then some of these may be longer than 10. You know, I might goof and put in 11 or 12. But once it really doesn't bother me on this. I'm just getting a sense of where I want my scissors to be. That might have 12 in it. We're going to do 10 more. It's hard for me to see while I'm doing this online. So my thread is coming up through this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in there. So that's all I'm going to do this morning because you get the idea. And you can't see this white thread very well. I can see it when I start stitching. And then when I'm got my scissors placed in here, you know, get that shank stitched in there, then I'll pull this thread out. So yeah, I just started another project. But this will be pretty simple to do. And I think I'll put this, I might work on it a little today, but I think I'll put this in envelope 10. Oh, except I want my needle. I want my needle. We're going to pull my needle out of this. Where is it at? Oh, you know what I did? My needle has, well, phooey, I'm going to snip this off. I want my needle. I'll have to rethread that. Until I get my other needles out. I was hunting all this around this morning for my smaller needles. I put them all in one sack out there somewhere. So this, let's put a pin in this. I think I'm going to put this in envelope 10, but I might work on it a little today. I might even finish it. So there we go. Let me come out and look at chat. I refreshed my chat and I don't think well, I guess I did, live chat. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Leah. She says, I need to use graph paper. I do, too, use grief paper. I use grief paper. I use graph paper, but I just don't have any right at hand. I used to have a computer software, that Cross Stitch Pro, but it was on my old desktop, and I lost contact with, I bought the Pro version, and it was really fun to work with. But I lost it, and it was on my old Windows 3, I think it was. It might have been Windows 5 or 7, I can't remember. And I had a big old, huge, back in the day, desktop. And I got rid of that desktop when I moved from Iowa to Wisconsin, or from Iowa to Kentucky. It was from Kentucky to Wisconsin. And I got rid of the desktop and I lost the software. And I've been thinking about getting it again. I don't even know if it's still out there. Look, I still have stuff here to put in that bag. I didn't get it all. I guess it's just this. Let's get that bag out again and put this away. What are these? Those are little eyelets. This bag will have to be cleaned out. And this is broken jewelry and charms. Do I have any more? I think the rest is for my birdies and such. All right. So, let's see. Leah said she uses graph paper. Arlene says Windows 95 was the best one. Yeah. Windows 95 wasn't that before Windows 3? It could have been Windows 95. I don't know. It was way back when. Mina says, thank you, Pam. Yeah. Mina says, what with tea making and greetings, I lost track of what Meri's talking about. Somebody help. And somebody helped her. Pam says, I'm making a scissors cross stitch pattern. I do want to do that. I want to finish Danielle Mellon's little book, but I have so much to catch up on. So I don't know if I can use those scissors for something. We'll see. But anyway, let's see what else is going on. Meri designing her own pattern. Yeah, it's just a simple pattern. I have done that scissors for years. I think I first started stitching them in 2006, I think is my earliest scissors pattern. And it's just a basic pattern, like what I showed today with just the two handles and the shank. And then I'll go ahead and add stuff to it, like I've done a sampler in the background. I've done autumn, I've done Christmas, I've done one with little scissors around it. I think I gave that one to one of my stitching friends down in St. Louis. And I've just done many different, I did the 12 Days of Christmas, just off of that basic scissors pattern. But sometimes I just like to do the basic one, just the plain one. I might put some X's or something out in the background, I don't know. Let's see, hi Paula, good morning Paula. Leo says, I bought some years ago, Becky. We'll get around to using them. It will be nice to make custom bias tape to match each project. Yeah, Becky was showing, I don't know if she did a separate video on it or not, but she had a short where she showed where Becky at Aunt Beck's Creations, where she made her own bias tape for one of those project little girls, where she used for the piping. I remembered the word piping. I couldn't remember the word piping the other day. She showed where she did piping using what she called dishcloth yarn. It was really interesting. And then she cut the fabric on the bias. When you cut your fabric on the bias, it stretches and turns better. So because you want it to be a little tube when you get done. She did a great job. Paula says, I love ideas of how to use wide ribbons. Yeah, and what's so fun about this wide ribbon is that it is, I set it down, it's burlap. So I can see to cross stitch through there. You know, it's an even weave. And it's an open weave. And I can see to, it's open enough that my poor eyes can see to stitch on it. Becky said, Scott bought me a set of bias tape makers for my birthday in March. Oh, that's cool, Becky. That's neat. I've seen those with Nancy's Notions. They're kind of like little metal things with a point, and you thread your fabric through, and it, of course, you still have to cut your fabric. Well, for bias tape, yeah, you do. You still have to cut it on the bias. You cut it diagonally. But I suppose if you have a wide enough piece, you know, if you have a piece of fabric that's 60 inches wide, and you cut this way and this way, you get small, well, yeah, it depends on how far down you go. And then as you start going down, well, here, this is the fabric, and start here, and here, and here, and by the time you get down here, you'll get, if you continue, you'll get smaller pieces, but you'll get several strips out of, if you're cutting on the bias, because you're cutting diagonally. But very creative, Becky. Leah says, yummy, Mina, and thank you for the pins. Mina says, adding a little cranberry to my tea. Hot tea to cool it. Ooh, yummy. Hi, Carlana. Good morning, Carlana. I missed you. Hi, Crafty Visage. Good morning and welcome. Thanks for popping in. If you're still out there, I kind of work on stuff and then I go back and review the chat. So if I miss saying good morning to you, please know you're still welcome in here. I miss a lot of people unintentionally, but know that you're welcome. If I miss saying good morning, there's Kimberly. I didn't say good morning to Kimberly. Did you guys see the butterflies that I tatted yesterday? I actually I wondered if I could connect the two wings together. And so I'm connecting them on the right-hand side of the wing on one. I'm right and left together. And what I want to do is make a string of them, a chain of them. It won't take, well, it depends on what I want to cover. Right now I'm thinking, you know, just something around a jar. It'll take like maybe 5 to go around a jar because the wingspan on those butterflies is like 2 inches. And a jar would be maybe 5 or 6 inches in diameter, in circumference. So I'm thinking it won't take a lot of butterflies to go around the jar. But it takes me about an hour to do one butterfly. And these butterflies I'm doing all in one color. I'm not changing threads on these, the ones that I'm chaining together. And Kimberly said they would look cool on the bottom of a lampshade. And I think they would, or a trim on a pillow would look cool. Or, you know, just very decorative. But by the time you've done 6 butterflies, I've spent about 6 hours on that trim. So you got to consider that too. But sometimes I just sit there while The Price is Right is blaring loud and I can't really concentrate on anything else. I'll just sit there and tat. Let's see, Carlana says, I'm here, coincidentally, sorting scraps from my last projects. Well, good for you. I did that yesterday afternoon. I still have stuff out in the dining room, and I had 2 big Ziploc bags. Well, a big Ziploc bag and a huge Hobby Lobby bag full of stuff. And I got that all sorted out yesterday. I had little pieces of fabric. I had beads and charms. I had ribbons and laces and papers. The papers all went into, well, it's actually more than paper, just like what was in my button box this morning. It's kind of a catch-all, the Ziploc bag. But I got rid of that big Hobby Lobby sack. So just doing little things like that helps sort stuff out. I'm getting there slowly. You know, you guys, I really worked myself up into, I pulled everything out. That's what I did. And that's why I have things all scattered around, is I had it all stuffed back there in the corner. But I couldn't get to my bookcases back there because it was all stuffed around there. I couldn't even get to it. Now at least I can walk to my bookcase and where I have things that I want, like I wanted envelopes this morning. And so that's a good thing to do, Carlana, just sort. And I'm going to try to practice sorting after I do, you know, after I get everything, when I'm getting there, you know, after I get done, just like on my desk here, you know, I had to pull all that. I'm going to kind of do it in progress. I'm not quite there yet because I still have stuff that I need to sort around here, but Mina's here. Crafty Visage, Arlene, Leah. Crafty Visage says hello, hello. Becky, hi Leah, hi Pam. Arlene says, today I'm going through my broken jewelry and beads, donating some to a lady that makes jewelry for a charity. Ah, Arlene, how sweet. That is sweet. I know Cheryl said, Cheryl's in the process of moving, and she says, I can't take everything with me. My heart goes out to her because I know how she feels. It's hard to leave stuff that you love behind, but you just don't have room for it. And it's hard. It's not easy. But she said she was going to give some to a fellow crafter in her area. So that's good. At least you know it's going to a home where it'll be appreciated. Pam says good morning. Kimberly says hi, Beck. I'm just scrolling back in chat. Becky said, today is soon. Today is soon, yesterday. Yeah, today is soon, yesterday, and tomorrow never comes. One of my grandmother's favorite sayings. Yeah. Today is soon, yesterday, and tomorrow never comes. Well, today is our yesterday's tomorrow. Oh dear. They're saying good morning, good morning, good morning. I think I'm up to, Kimberly says, looks like a good treasure hunt. I can't go up any further. Let's refresh and see if I missed anything down below. Riri! Good morning, Riri! She says she's lurking. That's quite all right, Riri. Hi up there in the balcony. Folks in the balcony, good morning, good morning. Cheryl's moving. Oh, yeah, Kimberly, Cheryl's moving. Yeah. She's still going to be here on YouTube, I believe. But I think Cheryl is currently in New Jersey. She's someplace back east. I forget where she's at. But she'll still have her Facebook, and she'll still be on YouTube. She's moving in the same building that her daughter's in. So I think that's a good thing. It's nice to be around family. Even brothers. Even brothers. Oh, my brother. He's such a goofball. I had a laugh. I'm not going to relate the instance. I'm not going to relate the instance that he said it, but I'm going to say what he said. He says, I've learned my lesson now. I just had a giggle. I was scolding him for something, and he said, I've learned my lesson now. I'm going, good, then I won't have to repeat it anymore. I have to play the sister, and I think my brother left home pretty early in life. He got out and after high school, he was with the family through his high school years, but after high school, especially in that time, a lot of the seniors were almost told to go do your own life. And I don't believe in that personally because I think you miss a lot of getting to know your parents as adults. There's a difference between a mother-child relationship, a young child and a mother where, your mother is kind of your guide. But as you're older and you still live with your parents, you get to know your parents as friends or as adults. You're an adult and they're an adult, and it's more of an adult relationship than a mother-child relationship. And I experienced that, and I am so appreciative of getting to know my parents as adults, where I think my brothers and sisters, they all moved out. My sister moved out as soon as she graduated. My brother moved out as soon as he graduated. And I think they missed a lot. I hate to say it, but I went to school, to the university after my senior year, but I had years to where I moved back in with my folks between jobs, and sometimes it was a year or two. And I'm so appreciative of that time, and especially when my folks got older. Uh, my mother lived with me. I lived with my parents. I was with my parents the day my father passed away. And, those are just memories you'll never forget. So, Teresa, up in the balcony. Good morning. She says, okay, I'm going back up to the balcony. Becky said she couldn't wait to get out of her mother's house. Yeah, that's okay, Becky. Sometimes, you have to do your life. And my brothers and sisters had to do their life, but I think they missed getting to know my parents. Now, my younger brother, I will say, my younger brother, even though he moved out, he still did a lot of things for my mother and dad. And, if I can say anything good about my younger brother, I think that he and I had our differences. And I have to say, he had this plaque that he made. It was a plaque that my mother had. It was a glass plaque, and it had a chain around it. It was one of those. And he made my mother write my name on the back of it. He made sure that I got it because it said something to the effect that of those who find fault in others have the greatest faults, or whatever, something to that effect. And, and he meant that for me, that, I was always finding fault. Well, I'm sitting there going, yeah, but you just found fault in me. So, for somebody who wants to point out that other people's had faults, just by the very fact that you're pointing out their faults, is that you're finding fault. So, we had a lot of differences, my younger brother and I, and we still do, and that's okay. At least we're not, at least we're tolerating each other and letting each other live our own lives. But if I can say one good thing about my younger brother, which I want to say, he did a lot for my parents that they couldn't. Like, he was always going down. He lived in Lincoln, and my parents lived down in a small town along the river. And he would always go down there and plant daylilies for my mother and spray the bugs for my father in the garden. And he did a lot for my parents. I think he put in the washing machine for my mother down in the old house along the river. He made sure that she had a washer and dryer. So, he loved his mom and dad. And he didn't say, I love you, like that, but he showed his love for my parents. And I do appreciate that about him. So, we were just brother and sister. All right, what else is going on? Becky said, my grandmother was my heart mother as she raised me. Becky, you so remind me of my own mother, your life, being raised by your grandmother. My mother was born into a family of like 12 kids, something like that. And she was raised by her great aunt, my great great aunt. But yet she was kind of in the same situation as you are, in that the fact that you still know your sisters, you still know your family, you visit with your sisters. My mother was the same way. So you just so remind me about that. But it's kind of, it's kind of, sometimes it was, well, let's say this for my mother, I think it was kind of hard for her to take. But I always I always told my mother, I said, you're the prettiest one of all your sisters. I would tell her that. Because she always, like me, she always felt like she was not that good looking. And I kind of feel like that. Maybe not so much now that I'm older. I don't really, I am who I am. But when you're younger, you want to be pretty. And she never felt that pretty, but she was pretty to my dad. My dad married her. Leona! Hi, Leona! Jean, she says, hey, happy Terrific Tuesday. Well, Terrific Tuesday back to you. The Crafty Visage says, I didn't have that either, Becky, so that I can relate. Yeah. So, you loved your grandmother, Becky, and that's what counts. And yeah. Riri says, ditto. Becky said, I couldn't wait to get out of my mother's home. Ditto. I think I was a little, let's say, I don't want to say I was, I think I was a little timid about God. I didn't have the confidence. And even now, as I look back on my life, as I look back on when I was 17, 18 years old, I don't think I had the confidence, because I was raised in a small school. I was a quiet person. I won't call myself shy, because shy has a different connotation to me. I was quiet. But I don't think I had the self-confidence that a lot of my classmates had. A lot of my classmates knew where they were going and what they wanted to do, and they went and did it. I was still trying to figure out my life. And it took me quite a while. Even I was still figuring things out after college. I went to the university for, I was in my senior year when I dropped out. And I dropped out because I couldn't agree with the teachers' college. And I look back on that today and I'm going, I was right. The Nebraska schools really aren't that bad, public schools. But, I look at what has happened in public education for the most part, and I'm glad I thought what I thought when I thought it. I'm glad I stuck to my guns. And I dropped out. I didn't finish my 4-year degree. I had 142 hours. I should have finished my degree without certification to teach, but I was in teachers college with a business minor. And I dropped out and I went to a business school, and I studied legal assistant. And I did good there. I was an A student there. And I graduated, got I think they call it I can't remember the exact name for it, but it was a 2-year degree. And, but the only thing with legal assistant at that time, it was such a new field that, everybody said, you're not an attorney. That was the big comment then. You're not an attorney. And I'm going, I know, I studied legal assistant, but it was hard to get a job back then. It was so new. But I got a job at a company that printed law reviews then. This was pre-personal computer days. They printed law reviews, and that was really interesting. That was interesting work. And then I worked as a legal secretary for a couple years, just kind of trying to find my way. And I wondered, because of that job at the printing company that printed those law reviews, it was computerized. and I got a job not there, but for, believe it or not, a grocery wholesaler, as a computer operator. And then from the computer operator, I got into the computer field and spent the rest of my career as programmer. But it was still a struggle. It was still a struggle. It was a struggle to the end, but I enjoyed programming. Big mainframe computers. It was hard to get training. Once you were trained in the legacy, like COBOL and assembler and the business languages, it was hard. You could get the training, but it was hard to work into the field, the like C++ and C, those fourth generation languages, because they said you're a COBOL programmer, you can't understand objects. Talk about, that was my reaction. What? What do you mean? You know? So it was a way to weed people out. So that I was a programmer. I did consulting programming until my last day. And then I'm kind of glad that I'm down here. I always loved art, but I've been able the last few years to enjoy doing art. So there's the story of my life. Have a wonderful day, Paula. She said she's heading up to the balcony as I get ready to head out the door. Yep, a lot of you have things you got to get done today. I wish you a beautiful, peaceful week. Mina said she'd be right back. Arlene says, Paula, I hope your day goes smoothly. Have a wonderful day. Becky says, I really cut ties with a lot of my family as they are too heavily vested in living in the past, and I don't live there anymore. I love that when you say that, Becky. I was thinking about this morning. Becky said, I don't live there anymore. She's talking about the past. The past is over and done with. We don't have to dwell on the past. We can think about the past, like I can evaluate my past and say, I think I should have had more gumption than I did when I was a senior, but you can't go back and change it. You can use it as a lesson for now, you know. Go online and do your art. Sometimes you're putting yourself out there, mistakes and all. And if I were still as timid as I was back then, I wouldn't want anybody to see all my mistakes and correct me all the time. You know, I'm wrong a lot. And that's okay. It's okay to be wrong. So, but I love that what Becky has said. I don't live there anymore. Don't live in the past. There's a difference between thinking about the past and living there and dwelling on it over and over and over. That's different. Leah said, that's interesting, Meri. It sounds like a fulfilling career. Well, it was fulfilling to the point that it went, but I had big dreams. I wanted to, even with my computer work, I wanted to be, I felt like there is a reality in glass ceilings, and usually you think of women hitting the glass ceiling as they're working up through the manager field and they can't be the CEO. But there's also a glass ceiling as you're working on your team. Like the women always got the grunt work. And, well, occasionally, I would say occasionally, some women broke that glass ceiling. But for me, I always felt like I got the grunt work. And you do it thankful that you have a job. But I always felt like I could do more if they would just give me the opportunity. So, but the past is the past. And sometimes I'll dream about work. I'll dream about my old bosses. And I wake up and I'm going, you know, that happened 10 years ago. Why is that still in my head? Why is that still in my head? I don't know. You know, I should just be able to move on. But there's probably something, because it's still in my subconscious, there's probably something I still need to learn from it. I don't know what it is. I'll dream about it again. Well, let's see. Am I missing anything else? Have a wonderful day. Arlene says, Becky, I totally get that. I have done the same. Becky said, only being pulled back into the family when there was a huge crisis and then done crappy. I'm just done. Yeah. Well, Becky, you have friends here. That's all I can say. My heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. At least you, let's look at it this way. At least you have identified the situation and you've dealt with it in the way that you can deal with it. You know, it may not be how anybody else deals with it, but you figured it out and you're dealing with it your way. And I think that's a good thing. All right, this is my gnome. We're going to finish my gnome. And I used marker to do this, but I think I'm going to have to paint this. So we've already primed this, and it's been primed pretty good. This is number 10 that I pulled from the project progress list. And I want to finish these ochre pods. The ghost is done. The cat, we had a cat, he's done. And we're going to do a cowboy on this one. So I've got this one pretty well figured out, I think. Because I'm not going to do, let's paint the hat. Let's get to work, Meri. Let me get a paper towel out because I'll need it. So welcome to everybody. It's not Monday morning, it's Tuesday morning. I think I was thinking it was the beginning of a new week. It really is the second day of the new week. It's my first stream of the new week. Well, I did stream Sunday night if you want to count Sunday as the first day, but you know what I'm saying. Let's paint this gnome's hat red. Can you guys see it all? Yeah, you can. So I did get out and water my plants yesterday, but I went out to check my zinnias and they need to be weeded. I tried to pull, it's grass, and that grass has roots. That grass has roots, and I need a spade to get in there, and I didn't have a spade. I couldn't just pull it out with my hands, the grass. So I might get out there today. It gets awful hot. It was up in the 90s yesterday. We're going to pull this gnome's hat down like that over his eyes. And I need to get out there and weed my zinnias. And yesterday, my brother called me for supper. And I went out there and he had boiled some sweet corn. And he kept saying to me the last few weeks how the sweet corn wasn't doing good. He said, somebody got into it. Some little raccoon eating our sweet corn. And he wasn't too hopeful. But I said, where'd you get the sweet corn? Because I didn't think we had any. He said, in the garden. And it tasted pretty good. So for sweet corn, we have a late garden this year. We should have had sweet corn. Well, it's July. It's the end of July. So we'll have some sweet corn out of it. We've got 2 more rows of it that we planted later. I don't know how that's doing. And my little kitchen tomatoes aren't doing that great. They've got some green tomatoes on the vine, but that's about it. We had a few. He hasn't brought any of his tomatoes in. He says they're green. All right. So there's the hat. Now, the nose and the head, I think I'm going to have to mix a little pink. So let's put some white in what's here. We're going to do the head next. The nose, I'll have to do maybe in a darker pink. Let's pull some of this white into here. And because I'm painting dimensionally, he's got a head in the back, but probably not that much because he's going to have some hair, but for right now, all right, we're just going to call this the head. And of course it's all wet. And I'll have to come back in and put in the nose. And he's got going to have, his nose will be up in there, and he's going to have a white mustache coming down and a white beard, but his hands, you can see here, I want his arms here, but this is two-dimensional. This is three-dimensional. This is going to be his face area, so his arms can come down here. So that's where I'm going to put some red. Like this is his arms coming down this way. And actually, we can kind of do a shirt on the back. And I'll have to differentiate that a little more. Got some pink in there. Alright, so his other arm can be right in here. And I might have to paint over that a little with the white. I got it a little too much. And here's his back here. And we'll take care of that. Right now I'm just sketching it in. Now I can paint this part of him on the back. I can give him blue pants. So let's get out some blue. Actually, I have him faced more this way. I drew it this way, so his face should have been in here. But I drew it this way, so because, well, I guess because I just did. So let's just set that down the way it is, and let me get out some blue. Blue, blue, blue. Let's do the ocean blue. And it's just about empty. It's one of those empty bottles. I don't know if I can get any out of there. Let's see what I can get out. Oh, yeah. Now, on his face, this is all going to be white in here, and he's going to have a white mustache coming down. And on here, I got just a little blue showing, but I'm going to paint it on the back first. And the blue that's showing probably would be on the sides. So let's paint the back. And we'll give him a belt. And we might have to set him down and let him dry, because I can't paint this all shaky hands here. Get in there. And turn it around. See how you can see just a little blue here? That's from the side and the back. Let's do the same right in here. If I can hold it still enough. And I'll come back in and give him a hand and a glove. And let's do a little more in here. So this will be his pants. And we'll put detail on it right now and just kind of block it in. And I'll bring some more white down that way for his beard. I'm going to set this aside and let it dry. And I need to get out my book with the dictionary pages. Wasting this paint. Wasting the paint, Meri. But I don't want to put my hand in it either. Alright, let me throw this away so I don't get it on the floor while it's still wet. There we go. Now I'm just going to let this guy dry, and we're just going to put him aside. There we go. We're going to work on the cowboy. And I miss having my cart next to me. Put him on the button box. Let him dry. Alright, I need another sheet of paper. The scratch paper will be fine. What do I have here? I have another sheet. We're going to design the cowboy. Let me look at chat again. Top chat, live chat. Hi, Candy. Good morning, Candy. She says, hello, everyone. I'm finally awake while Meri is on. I've been starting just a little bit later in the mornings. Yeah, 6 o'clock instead of 4:30. That's been working for me. I want to go back to my 4:30 hours, but it will probably be in the fall or winter. So as I'm designing this little guy, he's going to be a cowboy. I trace around it, and because I'm tracing around it, the tracing is just a little bit wider than the actual piece. I'm trying to get up close into it to get it as close to the size as possible. And it's easier for me to figure out the design on paper, and then I know kind of where I'm going when I paint it. I'll hold on to that. So a cowboy has a hat and a vest and chaps and boots and a holster. So let's do the boots. How are we going to do boots? Might only get one boot on there. Well, let's do it like this. Looks more like high socks. Maybe if I put some, I don't know if I can get that detail on there or not. Those are boots. Now the chaps, let's see. He's going to have a face. The hat will be brown. The hat will be brown. We'll call that the hat. And let's give him a little bit of a mustache, like so. Something like that. And should he have a beard? I don't know. We could try to give him an eyes in here. Cowboy eyes. I don't know about that either. And remember, this is 2-dimensional while this is 3-dimensional. So I can bring the hair down in the back. Oh, he needs a neckerchief, doesn't he? He needs a kerchief. Something like that. And of course, like again, this is 2-dimensional. It will go around his neck on the back. So there's his kerchief, and he's going to have a vest. He's got to have a vest. Something like that. And this will be his arms. And of course, again, this is 3-dimensional, so I can paint his arms on the side. Actually, I drew it like this, so I can paint his arms on the side. And he needs a belt. We'll give him a big old belt. If I were really talented, I'd put a cow on that belt. Something like that, but I don't know if I can get a cow on there. So he's got a belt, and then he's going to have a holster here. A holster, and I don't know if I can get guns in there. And then he'll have chaps, and I'm just going to put circles there. I'm not going to attach anything to these. It's going to be all paint. And then these will be his legs, and I don't know. I guess I could put a line in there. So if you look at the side, let's see, I drew him like that. So the side, this would be the front, so the side would be here. Let's see if I can do a decent side here, or at least a representation of it. Kind of hard to draw around. So let's imagine this is the side. Of course, this is the hat. He could have an ear and part of his hair coming down that way, and his face would be here. He could have the vest, something in his arm coming down this way, and we could actually do a holster over on his side here. Put his hand in there, have his belt coming around this way, something like that, and the holster would look like that. The chaps could actually have, and his boots here, and of course it comes down like that. The boots are going to be kind of hard to do, but that's kind of be, and we could make his shirt maybe plaid. I'm not really good about doing plaid, but we could do some lines, checked plaid. And then, you know, his vest coming down that way. And this is his hat. Well, it's really skinnier than that. All right, now the back, let's see, this is the front, this is the side, so this would be the back. So let's do the back. And I'm going to make both sides the same, or nearly the same. They won't be exactly the same. So imagination. What do you see in an okra pod? So this is the front. Somebody saw a cowboy, and these are the sides. I think we have enough people in here. And this is the back. Let's stop this right now and get out another sheet of paper. And I don't expect a big list, but we want to do a list. And I'm going to write it in black. So I want to know from you guys unimaginative things that you can do. Let's just say that you're having a bad time with your art. You just can't get it quite up and going. And you just can't bring out the imagination that you want. What kind of things can you do that are unimaginative? And my theory is, let me find a pen. My theory, and I don't know, I might have picked it up from somebody. We'll put the ghost out here. My theory is, if you do things that are unimaginative, just the process of doing will spark your imagination. So what I want to know on this list are what are some unimaginative thing, art. Art. What is some unimaginative art that you can do? Sort and clean images. Sort and clean images. Doesn't take much imagination, does it? Teresa says, I scribble. Becky says, just spread paint. Just spread paint. Yeah, it doesn't take much imagination just to spread some paint. Just spread paint. Did I miss anybody else? Hi, Shelley. Candy, these are okra pods. They're actually from last year. They've dried out. I painted them white. They were actually kind of a neutral tan color after they dry. They're green when they're ripe. But when you let them grow this big, they're not edible anymore. They're hard, they're woody. And but if you let them dry, they turn kind of a tan, dried out color. And then I painted them a base color white. This is the ghost. All right, let's see. Shelly's here. Just spread paint, sort and clean. Scribble. Scribble. How many times do you scribble, and as you scribble, you start seeing things? Yeah, and try to figure out objects within the scribbles. There you go. Fussy cut. Doesn't take a lot of imagination, does it? Fussy cut. What else? Let me refresh my chat. My chat doesn't, I have to refresh to get things moving. Swatch colors. Swatch colors. And see what happens. Doesn't take a lot of imagination. Swatch colors. Neurographic drawing, Candy says. Neurographic drawings, N-E-U-R-O, graphic drawing. Hi, Shelley. Let's see. Candy and Shelley. Go for a walk. Go for a walk. And as you're walking, what is it about just walking that sparks our imagination? Is it the movement? Is it the things around us? We see things. What is it about? Is it just getting out and away from everything for a while? Getting your mind maybe at peace or maybe refocused. Not trying so hard to be creative. You're just relaxing. Candy says, how are you, Teresa? Hi, Teresa. Thumbnail pictures, Crafty says. Thumbnail pictures. Thumbnail pictures. Small little pictures. And you could do those with collage or drawing or painting or just cutting up images into thumbnails, cutting up a magazine page into little squares. Look for pattern in nature. So as you're walking, look for pattern in nature. And I'm going to leave out the nature part and just say look for pattern everywhere you are. I mean, there's pattern in the curtains. There's pattern in the way we arrange objects. There's pattern in the way maybe now I'm in the rural area, or I'm in a small town, but let's just say that I'm out driving and I look at the Quonsets or the corn bins, and there's actually pattern in the way that they built those grain bins. It might be 3 together, it might be 2 together, there might be a grain bin by a couple of old buildings. That's actually a pattern. It's a pattern of, well, you think of a Quonset or a grain bin as being a cylinder and the buildings as being shapes, square or rectangular. There's pattern out there. Would somebody show crafty visages? For some reason I can't do it. She says, hello, Janet. Hi, Janet. Arlene, could you show? Maybe I need to refresh. Maybe it's been taken care of. There we go. Thank you. Mary said thumbprint pictures. Oh, thumbprint pictures. All right. Well, I got thumbnail. I changed it. My subconscious changed it. Thumbnail pictures. Yeah. Thumbprint pictures. Janet Nash. Good morning, Janet. Snap a picture of the cloud image if I'm fast enough. Well, that's a good idea. Snap. I haven't done that. I'm going to have to do that, Nina. Snap a picture of clouds. That's a good idea. I'm going to have to try that. I don't think I've ever photographed intentionally clouds. Dawn, Janet says, good morning. Arlene says, good morning. Candy, hi. We just got back from our walk. Janet and Freddie. Freddie's Janet's dog. We love Freddie. They're saying good morning to Janet. Leah says, I love all these ideas. Yeah. Arlene says, work in the garden, the shapes and the textures. So work in garden. Shape and textures. Okay, I actually looked up the meaning, and I'm going to do this now and read it to you out of the horse's mouth rather than trying to paraphrase it. Let me see. Do I have it on my phone here? Let me check. Hold on. Let me get to my desktop. I do. I looked up the word unimagine. Unimagine. And to me, that would be the opposite of imagine. And the Wiktionary, the Wiktionary, not dictionary, Wiktionary, yeah. It says to dismiss from the imagination, to make as though it was never imagined. So how would you make something that it was never, to unimagine something, you have to have something that's been imagined. Because it says to dismiss from the imagination, to make as though it was. Now that's Wiktionary. Let's look up some more here. To undream. How do you undream something? Once you've dreamt up something, how do you undream it? Do you just dismiss it? Isn't that interesting? To make as though it was never imagined. How do you unimagine something? Because there's a fly crawling on me. He tickled my arm. You know, I don't think I've ever really tried to unimagine something. I find that very interesting. Then I looked up the word unimaginable. Unimaginable above. And this is interesting too. Let's put ABLE. Unimaginable. And that takes on a whole different meaning because it says difficult or impossible to imagine or comprehend. And unutterable, unspeakable, it's unbelievable. And they had given an example of the unimaginable. The unimaginable horrors of war. Now, you think of Picasso, he did that, what was it called, Guernica or something like that? He did that artwork of the horrors of war. I can't remember the exact piece that he did, but just to think how horrible something is. It's just, you cannot comprehend how bad it is. Well, just think of disasters. Well, think of 9/11 and what those people went through when the building fell on them. That's unimaginable. Who would want to do something unimaginable in that sense? Unutterable, untold. And I think sometimes when you read a lot of science fiction, you might get into unimaginable things, maybe not in the sense of horror, but unimagined, like science fiction sometimes can be things, it can touch on things that we would have not conceived of. Science fiction, maybe. I'm just kind of talking through my imagination there. The meaning of unimaginable is not imaginable or comprehensible. How to use unimaginable in a sentence. So I think of unimaginable, well, I don't think I've really thought of it a whole lot, to tell you the truth. This kind of expands my thinking. I don't think of it in terms of horrors, HORRORS, disasters. Although it does mean that, I don't think my mind went there. So, but it's, now let's look up the word unimaginative instead of above. Unimaginative comes with another meaning, unimaginative meaning. Not readily using or demonstrating the use of imagination, stolid or somewhat dull. So that's certainly different than unimaginable. Unimaginable is, it demonstrates something that you just couldn't think of before, it just, you can't imagine it happening. This is demonstrating, this is dull. You try to bring out, it's just, you try to do something imaginative and you're not getting it. It's dull. So some synonyms are uninspired, uninventive, unoriginal, uncreative, unartistic, commonplace, pedestrian, mundane, matter-of-fact, ordinary, usual, routine, humdrum. So I'm going to kind of jot on here because I find this really interesting. Imagine. Imagine is the positive stuff. Let's look up the meaning of imagine just for, let's go to imagine, the meaning. Imagine. Imagine. What is the imagine message? Wait, I want the meaning. MEANING. We'll just briefly do it. So imagine says, form a mental image or concept, to suppose or assume. Who is this from? What's it when you imagine? What is the meaning or synonyms of imagine? To conceive in your mind, not physically. Conceive, envisage, fancy, realize. Realize. Well, all these words mean to form an idea. Form an idea. Create. Create an idea, or create, or I'm just going to put the word ideas. So imagine you're even if you're creating or having an idea of something that somebody already thought of, it may be new, it may be never thought of by somebody else. That's pretty unusual. But when you imagine something in your own artwork, you're creating, you're coming up with something new to put on that paper. It doesn't have to be a new concept to the whole wide world that nobody's ever thought of before. You can still imagine something that somebody else has already thought of, and still it could be a new idea for you. So if you're creating your art and you're thinking, oh, this is unimaginative because so-and-so already did this. So-and-so already invented jelly plating, so I won't be imaginative if I do a jelly plate or do some jelly printing. You know, that type. Somebody else has already drawn Santa Claus. I can't come up with a new Santa Claus. Well, you might be able to, but that type of thinking. So keep your idea. Now, unimaginable. I-M-A-G. I missed the A in here. A-G-I-A-B-L-E. Something like that. Unimaginable is kind of unconceivable, uncomprehendable. You just can't believe that could happen. You just can't. It's almost unimaginable, inconceivable. Unimaginative I'm just going to put dull. And we may feel dull, but what you really created may not be that dull. But anyway, and then let me go back to unimagine. Let's just put UN in there. Unimagine, to dismiss from the imagination. Now that, I guess, to undream, let's put unimagine. This is one that I really kind of, because how do you undream something? I think it's just by dismissing it. Dismiss is the good word. You come up with a great idea and then you just drop it. So drop imaginative concepts. That's my meaning. A-T-I-V-E, concepts. Because I can't imagine how you undream something. I put undream. Unimagine. And I'm going to put. So this kind of interesting, all of these things relate, but they kind of take on different concepts. Kind of interesting. So let's say you go out for a walk, and as you're walking, you see this really interesting piece of tree bark. And you look at it and you say, wow, I should pick that up and take it home and do something with it. And then you say, maybe not, and you put it back down. I think that's kind of, you're dismissing your inspiration. Dismiss ideas. Undream. Unimagine is the word I was going for. That one kind of, I never really thought about unimagining something. How do you undream something? I'm thinking, well, the dream, I'm thinking of two different concepts of dream. When you dream at night, you can't really undream your dreams. You can forget your dreams. I guess that would be undreaming them. But you can't go back to the fact that your subconscious, you can dismiss it. Let's just say I have a dream of a plane crash. You can dismiss that because you don't want to think about it anymore. I guess that would be to unimagine. But also there's the dream, the concept of a dream in that you have a dream, that a dream in the fact that you have a desire. You're dreaming up what your studio might look like 10 years from now if you can continually clean it, organize it. You know, you have a dream of an organized studio, and if you unimagine it, you just say, I'll never get it done, so I'm not even going to start it. I don't dwell too much on unimagining things. I think that kind of is a negative, but it's kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting concept in a way. Maybe I don't think about it because I don't want to think about what my studio might look like if 10 years from now if I never organize it. So this is kind of some things I was thinking about this morning when I was thinking about what am I going to do this morning. There's some things to think about, imagination. And here we are. Why did I drop my cowboy? I set him aside because I painted him. I think not my cowboy, my gnome. What did I do with my cowboy? I got my ghost. Well, my gnome is dry. We'll work on him. My ghost. We'll work on him. And this is the back of him here because, see, I got his shirt and it got his arms. This is the front of him, which really I got backwards. Look, I got it all backwards. I made the front the back and the back the front. How did that happen? Well, we're not going to go any further. We're not going to change it, I mean. And I think I'm going to draw. I think I'm going to draw and see what happens here on my gnome. And I want him to have a mustache, so I'm going to draw his nose here. And gnomes have big noses. And then he's got a mustache. And that's going to come down. And like I said, I think I'm going to have to put some white in there. But we're going to bring his mustache clear down this way. Like that. And it's going to go up this way. And then on the other side too. And I'm going to have to put more white in here. It's going to come down the sides here. And his nose is going to, his hat, he's not going to have eyes. His eyes are hidden. I'm going to bring that hat way down here. And around. And around this way. And around the back. And around the sides. Now, he's got a shoulder and an arm here. And I'll do more painting, but I got to see where I'm going. So, here's his coat. And I was thinking about making that plaid. I don't know if I can or not. Or his shirt. And then he's got an arm and a shoulder over here. Oh, and let's see, he's going to have hair. Should I make his hair white in the back? Because he's got a white beard and white mustache. Let's give him an ear over here. And I might paint his hair on the back white. And let's give him an ear over here. And this is his shirt in here. And his shoulder comes this way. And he's got an arm here. And then he's going to have a belt here. And his belt buckle is really covered up by his beard in the front. And I got his belt right up here. So I could put some boots on him, maybe, down here, just some black boots. And let's bring, well, oh, this is the front here. See, his belt over here is way up in there. I guess you could see a part of it in here. Right in there. Maybe up a little higher. So his beard is going to cover up his, well, actually, I got his mustache too. So I might have to paint over that mark again, because I got his mustache coming way down. And I drew his belt. The way I have it is, mustache is tucked underneath of his belt to keep it from flopping around. Oh dear. And I'm not going to give him eyes. I'm going to paint this hat way down, further covering up his, and he's got ears, and I'm going to paint this hat in there. Now, I could, in here, because his back, his shirt is just red solid. I could make this a plaid. Just draw or checked or something in here by just drawing lines for his shirt. And we're going to leave his collar. And I can't get too much detail here. Whoops, this is the belt. This is the belt. Here goes over to his arm. And we'll do another line there. Maybe make a thick line. Here, this is his arm. And maybe another thicker line up here. And make this line thicker. Kind of simulate a plaid there in the back. And this will be a plain collar, and this will be white. This will be red. Now, I know gnomes really don't put much decorative on their hat, but what could I give him up here on his hat? A decorative element up here. A star or a... I think a star would make him look too much like Uncle Sam. I could paint his pants green, but then he'd look Christmassy. All right, let me come up and look at chat here. I'm pretty happy with him. I might put something up here. Right in here, he needs some sort of a something to draw on here. I think of a star, maybe a badge, or a bird might work too. A star makes him almost look like Uncle Sam because of all the red, white, and blue. All right, let's see what you guys are saying in chat. Let me refresh my chat. Top chat. Today is Tuesday, so I'll go until 9 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock now. A little before 9. Well, I actually accidentally run over. Let's see. Mina says, is this the cowboy? No, this is the gnome. This is the gnome. The cowboy, what did I do with my cowboy? I put him someplace safe. This is the ghost. This is the gnome. Where's my cowboy? Take a breath, Mary. I lost my cowboy. I didn't put him behind me. I don't know what I did with him. I lost the cowboy. I was drawing him. He's gone. I don't know what I did with him. He's here, but I had a drawing of the cowboy. Did I write on the back of him? No. I'll find it. I'm actually ready to stop on these because there's something else I want to do this morning. We'll come back to these. I'm not going to start another project in progress until I get these done. I want to, in my number 10 envelope, if I don't already have her in there, I want to put my bobblehead doll that I'm doing of Dee Dee. I want to get that done. But it'll only get done if Random Org says do it. I lost chat. Top chat. Live chat. All right. This is something I want to work on. I want to get started on it. That's why I stopped everything. Of course, it's another project, but it's something I do want to work on. I found this. I'm going to use this to bind with. And I sorted out a whole bunch of papers in here. Just pull them all out. And some of them are extra newspaper clippings. I don't want those right now. What I want to do here, looks like somebody sent me an ATC. I didn't do that. This is Angela Snyder's Death's Crafty Mixed Media Group. Angela Snyder sent me this. Let's keep that out, put it in my journal. This is a bird. Keep that out. What I want to do, and actually this I'm going to put back in because these are just bits and bobs. What I want to do, you can see I want to make a junk journal. And what I want to do in this junk journal is unimaginative stuff, like gluing. Just getting down and maybe gluing scraps of fabric, gluing scraps of paper in random stuff, random order. And I think, let me set this down over here. Oh, by the way, who do you think did this? This came from Arlene. It says, Happy Crafting. Arlene did this. I tore the label off. There's nothing on the back, but Arlene did the front. I found it while I was sorting. But what we're going to do, I think I already have these kind of in signatures. We're going to do some unimaginative journaling. This is going to be my unimagine. Although I don't want to use the word imagination. I mean unimagine. Although I do want to. Unimaginative, we're going to call it, because unimaginative means dull. What it is going to be more like an inspiration board. It's just going to be doing stuff. Just to get it done, just to get it in. I'm not trying to do anything ultra creative, beautiful. But I don't want, let's pull this out. That's what I'm going to bind it with. Let's move this over. I think I'm going to have to tear to get some of these to fit. I want the pages to fit in here. So it's going to be kind of a junk journal of unimaginative stuff. Unimaginative stuff. And I do want to do this. And so this, yeah, I'm starting another project again. But this inspires me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that I kind of picking up from Johnny. She said she only puts 5 pages in a signature. And I do think I make my signatures way too thick. So I'm going to 5 or 6 pages. I'm going to pick that up from Johnny at Junk Journal Shop. Let's see if I can't pull something else from my stack here. Maybe another one of these. All right, there's 6 in here. Let me tear this a little bit more. So that one, and let's see what I got in here. I got a whole bunch of these calendar birds. I don't know if I'm going to use them all because I think I'm going to put them down with my... Pretty soon we're going to have to do August. And maybe, if I have time this morning, I'll do an unimaginative page in my July journal. Alright, so there's this one. This was a calendar pad, and I really have been using that pad this year in my desk journals. And this looks like the cheap form of wax paper that I got at the dollar store. This is I think this was sent to me. It's an art page. I think Arlene may have sent this to me. Let's take one of these, because I had Arlene's envelope. Let's take one of these and put in here. Like that. Chapter 5. We're going to leave that on the front. Chapter 5. Here's using my imagination. And this, somebody sent this pretty vellum paper to me. It's almost too pretty to put in a junk journal, but here it goes. It should be put in my August journal. I think I'll hold it out and put it in my August desk journal. It's too pretty to put in a junk journal. And a doily placemat. And I think I folded it up here because I didn't want it to, tear the edges. So I folded it, made a crease in there. Like so. And I might just tape that down when I get to working on it. And it's okay if it's crooked. Now, how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can put one more on the outside. And did I have chapter 5 in there? I thought I had a chapter 5. Where did I do? Right here. We want this on the outside. Let's do one more. Oh, let's do this Paris calendar. And it'll be upside down. This will be right side up, but the numbers will be upside down just because it's a calendar. And in order for it to stay the same size, I'm going to tear a little of this up here off. This is my unimagined journal. No, unimaginative. I don't want to call it unimagined, because unimagined now to me means dismissing a bright idea. And this was a prompt game. I'm going to leave that because it's pretty common prompts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's tear this. Somebody crumpled up some papers for me. I think I got this in Happy Meal. You know, this is that what do they call that when they crunch it all up? Is it Mama Gurmy or something like that? When they crumple up all the papers, somebody did this for me, and then you straighten it all out and you have this wonderful crunchy stuff. There's a name for that in art. And let's see, what else do I have? Let's put a brown sheet in there. And let's make the brown sheet the cover. And tear it. We're doing the Johnny thing with only 6. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 2 more. I want something like, something like this. That's 5. Something imaginative, something to give it a little flair. And these are more flips. I think that's why I put them in here. 1, 2. They're more, I'm going to use them more as page flips. They're just single pages. I need, yeah, these are flips here. These are all flips. This was a page that I did a long time ago. So, I guess I could put this over this and count that as a page. Although it, whoops, it might be kind of hard to, let's put it like so. And I don't know, I think I'll use this one too. Maybe I should put this one here, like this. And I want this one on the outside, there. So I got 1, 2, I've got 3 signatures. These are flips. These, really, I wanted to use them. This is a page that this is freezer paper. I'm going to save this freezer paper to experiment with that. Let me show you here. What did I do with it? Well, I put it away. I got some of that. Here it is, hold on. Some of this at the thrift store for 25 cents. It's Bubble Jet Set 2000. And you soak a piece of fabric in it for till it's all saturated. It says for 5 minutes. And then you allow your fabric to dry. And then after it's dry, you iron the fabric to a piece of freezer paper on the shiny side. And I think I'll use this just for the fun of it. I have other freezer paper, but so I think rather than use this in my junk journal, I'm going to play with this. I could just use a portion, but no. This is all going to go back into here. Alright, so there's this. Now I thought I have more. I do have more down here. Out of my bag. This is the, what I was going to use as the cover. And this, I don't know if I did this or somebody did this. It looks like they tried to die cut it. And I might have just sliced it myself. But I thought I would cut it down here for the inside. Let me, and where's my, hold on. Let me grab this again. I was going to use this on the outside and this on the inside, and we're going to put this back in the, and then these, or this embossed paper could almost go on the outside too. Let me pull it through. This is embossed. Somebody sent that embossed wallpaper to me. I think it was Deb Farrow, because I think I have some of Deb's things in there. So let me put this back in the package. Get it off of my desk for a bit. And we're going to work with the cover and the signatures. What time is it? It's 8:10. Let's see if I can get this put together. So what I'm going to do is what Johnny did the other day. And she, let's see, I don't want the spine to be, let's just fold this in half and put half and half. Half on one side and half on the other. And it's the right size. It's a little bit short, but that's okay. We can put it out to here and use fabric over in here. So let's fold it this way again. This is my unimaginative, we're going to call it, not unimagined. Because unimagined to me now means having an idea and then just dropping it. Unimaginative to me means having an idea, but it's kind of a ho-hum idea. I don't think any ideas are ho-hum, but some people may evaluate it as being ho-hum. So I'm going to put this over to the side here. Now, let me look in one of Johnny's boxes, because she sent some wide tape. I could use double-sided carpet tape, but that's so sticky and I don't want to fool with it this morning. I think Johnny, let me reach over here, in her kit, sent some, let me reach, hold it, I'm getting there. I think in this kit, she sent some wider double-sided tape. Let me, I'm doing the splits. Whoops, I dropped you guys. Set you back up on your pedestal. I'm jumping around my junk. Oh, now I lost chat. Let's see, when I dropped you, I lost you. Let me get back into here. Where are you? I'm going to have to get completely out, I think. Let me get out and come back in. Come on. It's being stubborn. Come on. Chat. There you are. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Chaz. Welcome, ladies. She says, I have an old wallpaper, Crafty Visage says, I have an old wallpaper book from a shop closing. Those are fun, aren't they? Wallpaper books. Let me reach in here, if I can remember how it opens. And I think, hopefully, oh no, it's not this one. Oh. It's not this one. Where is that double-sided tape that she sent me? I'm going to go back over there. I got another kit from Johnny. Hold on. I want to use double-sided tape on this. I'm going to have to move some of this stuff, or I'm going to trip on it. And we don't want to trip and fall. Break a leg, Mary. Break a leg. That would be great, wouldn't it? And just what I need is a broken leg. I had a broken leg when I was in 2nd grade. I don't need another one. Where's that their box? I don't know what I did with it. I guess I'm not going to find the wide double-sided tape that I wanted. Shoot. I thought it was in this box. It must be, I must have moved the box it was in. Let's just use the thin stuff. I didn't really want to use thin stuff. Well, if all else fails, there's my, no, that's my gnome. I don't know what I did with my cowboy. This is what happens when I get going here. Where's this? Where is that? What did you do with this? I had it all out ready to go, and now I can't find a darn thing. right, I'm okay. I'm just mumbling. We're going to use Yes Paste because I can't find my double-sided tape that I wanted. What was that? One of my signatures. All right. I'm going to Yes Paste these onto here. And doesn't matter what way. Let's turn this right side up because I need it right side up. And if I put it this way, I think I like it better. I don't know if you can see the embossing, but the embossing goes that way. On this one, I want the embossing to go that way. Now, after I do this, I'll have this, and I'm going to put fabric in there, and the fabric will kind of cover up the edges here and the spine. So let's get busy. And I think I had two big, yeah, see, I haven't used this. The other's out in the room. Renee sent me two of these, or I don't know how I got two of them. Did she send me two of them? I have more Yes Paste I have enough Yes Paste to last me until the end of time. For a long time. I got several containers of this Yes Paste now. And I told Renee, I said, if you want to send one of those back, you can. I think what happened was somehow I got two big ones and one small one. And I don't know how that happened. I don't know if they all came from Renee. But anyway, I told her, I said, I'd gladly refund you one so you can spend it on something else. And she said, no, keep it. And I haven't seen Renee for a long time, Red Wagon. Where are you? She's out on Instagram. I see her on Instagram. All right, let's make sure that I have Yes Paste. Oh, and I got it clear out to the edge here. And I don't know what I'm going to use. Well, we'll find something unimaginative. Although, when you do this, it turns out to be more imagination than what you counted on. But that's the whole point of it. I actually just want to use up my scraps. Although, scraps and stray papers and stuff like that. And this isn't a journal. Like Dee Dee says, you don't have to finish the entire journal. You know, it can be an ongoing thing. I could even do paint scrapes in here if I wanted to. That was Becky's unimaginative prompt, was just scrape paint. We might do that with my blue. It's getting pretty empty. And since I did all the way out over here, I'm going to do all the way out over here. Let's make sure I got my corners and my edges. And don't forget the inside. And I got more left on my, let's just put it in here. Scrape it off on my back of my paper just to clean my palette knife. There. Now, what fabric did I get at the craft store the other day? I don't know if I got anything that at the, let's see. I have fabric, but it's nice fabric. I don't know if it's any that I want to use. Hold on, I thought I got some fabrics at the thrift store. There's all this bead. Let me get up and go over. I didn't bring my cart over. Let me reach over to my cart and see what I have that I can use for this find. Here, we'll use this because it's close by. We'll use this. Ooh, that'll be pretty, won't it? So this is from here to here is 3.5. I'm going to come over a 1/2 inch on each side. So that's 4 3/4. No. Yeah, 4 3/4. 4 3/4. I don't trust it. I'm going to make it 5 inches. And I'm not going to use the Yes paste. I am going to use, well, if I use 3 strips of double-sided carpet tape, that would be 6 inches. So 6 inches. And I like this fringe. We're going to use the fringe on the front. 6 inches comes out to there. Oh, that's about right. So we want to mark, let's move this. And let's cut 6 inches off of this. And it is, let me measure the height. I'm going to be trimming the paper here, so I'm going to measure the cardboard. It is, well, 8 3/4. So I want 6 by 8 3/4. And I think I'll just cut the 6 down first. Six, right. Yeah. I don't think this one will work. I need a, I don't know what I do with them. They drop and fall on the floor while I'm working. I need one of these. So 6 out to here. And if it's a little larger, like, you know, I've got that little piece there. It isn't going to make any difference to me. It's about 6. And if I have to glue some down, I'll just glue it down. Because my carpet tape is thinking I'm going to use 3. So 6 this way. So let's mark this. Yeah, that was pretty good measuring, Mary. It lines up. Surprises myself. Surprised myself. And then I'll cut this at 8 3/4. So 8 3/4 would be there. And this isn't cut straight in here. So I think I'll move this down a little, because this isn't straight here. 8 3/4 would be more just down a little there, and 8 3/4 there. And this is just for the spine. And I'm going to put this on with carpet tape. Double-sided carpet tape. I'm not going to attempt to, well, I might put some Yes paste on the edges once I get it on there. So I think I'll leave this attached. I was going to cut it off there. Am I frozen? My chat is going. Can you guys see me? Let me see what's going on. Maybe it's my tablet. Let me close out my YouTube and come back in. Am I frozen? No, I'm not frozen up there. It's my YouTube over here. it froze on my thumbnail. Let's get into live chat. I am frozen. Cheryl says she's frozen. She says, yes, Mary. Arlene says she's not frozen. Chaz says she sees me. Refresh if you're frozen, because I was my tablet was frozen. It was frozen on my thumbnail. I'm glad some of you saw it. All right, I'm just going to cut this out. I'm cutting out this area for the spine. This is the back, and this is the front. Let me cut this way. My fabric scissors are out by the sewing machine. But these are doing a pretty good job. They just don't have the long blades. And I don't care if it fringes here. I like the fringe over here. That's going to go on the front. If I can cut. I draw those lines so hopefully I can stay on the line while I'm cutting. There. Alrighty, I'm happy with that. We'll use the rest of that for something or other. I'll put it behind me, pick it up when I'm done. Now this, look, I have glue there, it's just not sticking down for me. This is going to go on here, like that. I might move it over a little, so that when I close it up, it'll go like this. But what I think I'll do is, well, I think I'll put the tape on here. We'll see. I'm not entirely happy with the two-sided tape across the spine. Because I find even no matter how careful I am across the folds this way, I find that it pulls. It pulls. I'm tempted to try I'm tempted to try Yes Paste. I think I will. Try Yes Paste on it. Unimaginative. See, this is where it was cut shorter, and it just fits a little bit up there, but oh no, after I trim it off, it'll be fine. Let's pull this down a little more. So I think I'm going to try Yes Paste. Yes Paste is made for bookbinding, and I think I'll start up here and just work my way down. So I am going to clip it down here just so that I can keep my place. I think I want it down just a little bit more, and that will be okay. It'll come just even with that. All right, let's clip it here. Just so that I don't get it out, and when I trim it, I think this will fall even, pretty even with it. I might need to pull it up a little when I stretch it a little. And it probably won't work, but okay, we're going to, what did I do with that? We are going to use Yes Paste. Now what time is it? It's 8:30. I've got half an hour to do unimaginative bookbinding here. And I haven't worked out the hollows in the spine. I'll do that separately. This will just be as it is here. I'll make an extra spine to go on the inside where I do the binding. I don't know if I'll get to the binding today. But I want to work off of the words imagine. And you know what? I think I'm going to mark on the inside here. Not there, but in here, where I want to put my paste. Just leave about a, you know, 1/4 of an inch or so. And over here, right in there. And it helps me know where to paste. All right, so when I start putting my paste on, I know I want at least want to come out to there, maybe just a teeny bit over on each side. So we're going to do the top. This is going to get folded under. Come out just a little. I might take some art glitter glue and go down the sides there. And I'm just going to put it on the top portion. And like I said, I think I'll come in, because I know I went in about a 1/4 of an inch when I made that mark. So I think I'll come in with some art glitter glue. I could do that because I can see it better. I can do that right away. Let's get this glued in here. I think I got enough on there. Let's get out my art glitter glue. And by golly, I have a place for it. I can usually know where it's at. And Arlene, bless her heart, gave me the suggestion to glue a foam rubber piece on the side to keep track of my pen. Now, I just want to come down in here, right in there, and right in here. And maybe, just for the fun of it, I'll put some art glitter glue on this. Just kind of all around it. Maybe not on the fringe. And we'll just do some in here. Just swish it around in there to help it hold. There we go. Now take my pen and, ouch, put it back in the cap here. Keep my art glitter gluey. And let's take this and put it right down. Yeah, right down in there. And now we can work with this. And you aren't going to see the whole thing. Let me tip my camera just a little, or go zoom out just a little so you can see more of it. Let me zoom out a teensy bit. Whoops. How is that? I always have to stand up when I do that. All right, we're going to put Yes paste on here. And I'm going to see how sturdy this Yes paste holds this binding. I've been on some of my journals where I put double-sided tape on this spine. I noticed that it's been pulling away. And I'm not completely happy with that. And I don't know if it'll pull away with, because, you know, you got these edges to worry about. Now, I don't know if it's how I didn't get the edges as nice as possible. Let's pull this open a little more. Get it in here. But you can always, if it pulls away, you can always paste it back. But that surprised me that the double-sided tape would do that. Alright, I think I got plenty of glue in the center here, but just to be sure. And let's just wipe my brush off on here, my palette knife on there. Put that in the water. And let's take some of this art glitter glue again and run it down here. And down here. And let's just run it along some of the edges here. And I don't want to put glue on the fringe. Whoops, but I did anyway. And let's pull this out a little. Put some there. Maybe in here. Just to help it along. All right, let's put my needle back in. So today is Tuesday. The two Kathys come on, Kathy Berg and Colleen, and Kathy Calico Kate, I think, comes on Tuesdays at 9. Who else comes on Tuesday afternoon? Does Tanya, Kathy Arbor, does she come on Tuesday? I lose track. I should quit saying because I forget. But Kathy Arbor and does, I don't think Pete Gurley comes on Tuesday. But I do know for sure that Beth Schuler will come on at 6. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Let's see how it works when I fold it. I think that's going to be, it's a little slanty there, but that's okay. That's all right. It's going to work as a unimaginative journal. Unimaginative journal. Now, what time is it? It is 8:39. I have time to work on the inside. And I'm going to do I'm going to do the inside before I do the signatures and spine. We're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about that today. I might work on it tomorrow morning some. I want my inside paper. What did I do with it? Ooh, I could use this vellum. That would be pretty, wouldn't it? Now, it needs something under it. Where's my paper? What did I do with the inside? Oh, am I going to have to get out another something for the inside? How about using some fabric on the inside? I got fabrics here. Do I have enough? I have this. Is that enough? Not quite. No, that's not working for me. Well, I had that paper that I was going to use on the inside, and now I can't find it. I have my signatures here. I have all my signatures. There it is. Right here. It's got some. Actually, I have 2 sheets of that. It was right there with my signatures. We'll worry about the signatures tomorrow. So, actually I have 3 sheets of this. I got this from someplace. So what I think I'm going to do is just put it across here, just like that. It doesn't look like it's straight to me, probably because that's crooked. And I'll trim all this off after I'm done. We'll get it pretty even up at the top. And after I get my spine in here, I'm going to fold this part down. I'll put something over this. That'll be another day. So right now, let me mark where I want to put my glue. This is my unimaginative journal. This is my unimaginative journal. It means that I can put stuff in it and not have to worry about how it looks. Now this looks kind of crooked to me, but I think it's because my cover is crooked. I think my line is straight, pretty straight. I'm just marking this because I know I want to glue in here. And I'm going to do that with the Yes paste again. And I put my... Yeah, let me get a towel. I put my palette in the water. I'm going to have to buy me some more paper towels. I think I'm on my last Christmas roll. I think Janice Glines wanted some of this. I think I sent her some. I've had it for a couple years. All right. So we're just going to glue along here. Along the edges. Now let's get this. And because Yes Paste has an open time, I can kind of take my time and spread it all on here. If you're using an adhesive that doesn't have an open time, you probably want to do these a section at a time, but I'm just going to plop my entire paper down on this. I like my Yes Paste. I want to thank Renee for sending the Yes Paste. Little Red Dragon. Thank you, thank you. Every time I use something that somebody sends to me, I feel like I want to thank them over and over and over, because I use it over and over and over. You guys are so good with sending me stuff. And let me tell you, I appreciate every last bit of it. Thank you so much. And I think I got this pretty good. And let's do the same thing here that I did on my fabric. Let's just wipe my palette knife on the paper here. Let me do it kind of off camera, just so I don't waste the paste. I'm not going to put that in the water yet. And we are just going to plop this down between those 2 lines as even as I can. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect, and it won't be. I must have had it the other way, but that's good. Yeah. And you could use a brayer to do this. You kind of want to make sure that it's all poofed down. And I think I'm going to go back over here I guess I put one of these was not glued down so great. Let's put some more glue in here. This, while it's not cured, it's still sticky. You really need to wait for this to cure, because you can still pull it up while it's still sticky. Once it cures, it'll be on there. So it's kind of a repositionable glue for a while until it totally dries, which I like. And what did I do? I glued my paper down here. I guess I wanted to pick it up again. I don't want that to be glued down good. I pulled it up. Now what I want to do is take care of the edges here. And I think I have just enough time. And I'm going to leave my yes paste out. What I have, if I can get to it, I'll use this. I have some of that wide washi. I got this washi off of the Prime. I can't remember if this was a Prime sale or not. I think it was. And I want a wider piece. Maybe this. That's not wider. This is the wide one. And actually, I can put it this way. And it'll actually work. So we're going to use this wide washi. Is this wide? This is wide over here too. Ooh, this is houses. Ooh, I like this. Imagination. Houses and windows. It says Downtown Abbey. This is Downtown Abbey here. And this is just phonograph, clipboard. I think I'll use this. I'll save my Downtown Abbey for something else. It's got some ABCs, some, looks like a film strip, some floral, some label there. It looks like some wax or color spots there. I actually bought 2 packages. They're different, I think. I think they were on Prime. I think they had a percentage off on Prime Day. That's why I got them. I had coupons. All right, so I'm going to put this around here. I'll probably go this way. Now, do I want to do anything on the outside? I don't think I do. So let's this way. And let's see, let me mark again, because this is wider than my paper. This is 2 inch. So I'm going to come in 2 inch. Maybe not quite 2 inch, because I don't want my mark to show. Right in there. About 1 7/8. Right in there. Oh, my marks look like dots. And hopefully this line won't show. It might show underneath the tape a little, but we'll see. And then I'm just going to glue, because I don't trust washi tape to stick forever in a book like this. Washi tape is washi tape. It's temporary bind, temporary grip. And we use it to, although I think this is pretty sticky. What I got there is a little gunk. This is my unimaginative journal. And when I get it all bound and start using it, I'll just plop unimagined stuff in there. And I might look at the prompts and maybe follow some of the prompts, go for a walk, and then I'll show you what I did when I come home. Although I don't walk much in here, in town here. I used to walk a lot. You know what? That's really coming right out to the line. I've got to be careful. I don't want my line to show. There we go. So I'm going to pull it out just a bit more. Trim it off. I want to leave a little fold in here so I can find it again. So this will be trimmed off here to the fold of the journal, wherever that is. So this part will be trimmed off. Looks like I need to come way down. That journal, I have to figure out where the journal is. We'll figure that out later. Let's go do the other side. And I'm going to be trimming this too. This gets trimmed off. Alright, let's do the other side. What time is it? 8:53. I got 7 minutes to do this side. Shouldn't take me any more than 7 minutes. Probably take me 7 minutes to find my palette knife. I think I lifted that paper up there. Okay. And I may work on this. I might try to come on tomorrow. If I come on, it'll be at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow morning, maybe I'll work in this. Find my cowboy okra pod. But it might take me... on Wednesdays, I only go till 7:30 Central because Dee Dee comes on. Well, I'm going to have to... I don't want to waste that. Alright, so I want to go... I want the printing to face the inside. So I want to go this way. This is really pulling off the roll nice, I have to say. I'm very happy with how it's coming off of the roll. Sometimes the washi tape does not, it tears, and this is really functioning quite nice. Bring it up a little. Right in there. Right in there, and I'm going to trim it right here. And fold it under just a bit so I can find the top of it again. And we'll put that away after this stream. I'm done with my Yes paste, so I can put that away. Put it down there. I've got another one that I've already opened, but I think it's out in the other room. Now, one thing I want to do yet, and that's trim. And I can see if I hold this up to the light where the top of this is. Now, it's a cracker box, so it's not, or actually it's Munch and Crunch. It's not even when I cut it. So, but it's an unimaginative journal, so it doesn't matter. And let's do this side, the bottom. I'm going to trim this off. Comes clear down. And I think, no, I'm good. I don't want to cut my tab off here. So let's trim. I don't want to cut my tabs. I'm going to trim this, and I'm just going to do it with my scissors. And I might go around the edges. Maybe some bias tape. Learn a lesson from Becky with bias tape. I don't know if I can do it or not. The way she does it is so cool. I might have some around here. Bias tape is easier to find than seam binding, I find, on the retail side of things. It's easier to find bias tape retail than it is seam binding. Alright, now this will get folded in like this after I put in the spine. And that's not totally... I'll have to come in and maybe I'll just rough this up on the edges. Right now I just want to get it trimmed. What time is it? 8:58. While I'm doing this, I want to thank you all for coming and spending a Tuesday morning with me. I always say you guys could be a lot of other different places, and I thank you for, even if you just pop in and say hello, thank you for doing that. It's nice to have you visit. And I want to go under this. I don't want to cut my tab. There we go. So these get folded in, and this gets folded this way. And this is the inside. I'm pretty happy with it. You can do, I noticed Johnny says that she takes, after she, my knife, after she gets her signatures on there, she takes and does this. And I'm going to do this right now. She also puts, well, and I'll be putting a piece down in here when I put in my signatures. I'm going to try to bind it Johnny's way. I want to learn that way of binding. I like to do my tassels, but you know, it's always good to learn a new way to do things, a different way. And there we go. There's the cover for my, and the signatures. Let me get all this off my desk real fast. Put that back. Put my pen back in here. My ruler's over here now. And scissors I'm going to put. I think I'm going to start putting my scissors up here in that box. Get them out of my box over here. I don't have my cart next to me. So, and my signatures. Let me grab onto them. We measured out and designed a scissors design this morning. What else did I do? I worked on my okra pods. I didn't get my sewing done on Karen's bird. There's my cowboy one that I lost. We designed the cowboy okra pod. We made signatures here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I have another one, but 4 will work. What do I got here? This one goes around like this. I might put another signature in here. 5 signatures. This one's too pretty. That's going to go in my August. I might do another signature. I thought I had another one, but it doesn't look like I do. And let's put it, right now I only have 3. 1, 2, 3. Right now I only have 3. I know I have more than 3 signatures. But I'm going to have to tear those down to size because I want to put more in here. So we're going to call this my Unimagine. We dwelt on the word imagine today, and unimagine and unimaginative. And so we thought about all of that today. There, we'll put it like this and like that. Maybe I'll just make this my thumbnail. My Unimagine cover. All right, it is 9:02. Kathy Berg and Colleen are on, I believe, and Calico Kate. Stacy May Catitude is on. Calico Kate is on, and I don't see Kathy Berg, but she will be on. All right, so have a great Tuesday. I'm going to try to come on tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Go out and enjoy your day. Do something imaginative. Bye.